never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant
Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog Talking News for the day. Giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button before you get up out of here. Go ahead and hit it right now, just in case you might forget or something. So go ahead and hit that like button right now, you know. And like I always say, don't forget to drop down in the comments. Salute to all my bulldoggers from the north to the south, to the east, to the west. Salute to all the bulldoggers down in the chat right now. You know, we about to get into that dog talk for the day, that dog news for the day. It's been a long week. PBK9's back at you. Let's go. Now, to start this thing off today, I want to start it off by saying salute to all my brothers down in the chat. You know, to put some people on point to what happened while I was in timeout for a week, because of the simple fact the Carolina Classic video has some footage in it that, you know, YouTube felt like went against the guidelines. And I don't know why I didn't think about that before I made the video. You know, felt like went against the guidelines. So that's why, you know, I was in timeout for a week. But yeah, man, I do want to say I'm going to be doing a call-in this week, live call-in. If you want to call in and talk about any kind of dog training tips, if you need any help with any dog training tips, or if you just want to call in to shoot, you know, your favorite dog man a shout out, you know, call in. Now, I want to explain a little something about chain setups when it comes to O-rings and clamps. And let me explain something right here, what I'm about to tell you. Okay, what I'm about to explain to you is not for you, it's for me. I'm telling you how, you know, how I do my chain setup. You know what I'm saying? For one, because one of the brothers made a mention about it on one of the last videos that I had posted up about the chain setup or whatever. And I'm not sure exactly what he was talking about. I'm thinking maybe he was talking about small chains or something. Maybe I'm not sure. But I want to explain something. You know, most people know that the O-ring clamp is pretty much, one of the strongest, supports when it comes to a dog on a collar, or on a chain rather. Okay, my thing is, I use both the O-ring clamps and the O-rings and I use clamps, and I have a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? See, and I always say this, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just have to look at stuff. You can have your own opinion about it, but don't make an opinion about things based off of how you handle your business. You know what I'm saying? Not saying how you handle your business is right or wrong, but don't make an opinion on something I'm doing based off the way you handle yours. Because see, I know the O-rings are some of the strongest things to have on the collars of any dogs, But my thing is, the reason why I use clamps, I get the strongest clamps I can find. The reason why I use them is because I be with my dogs a lot. I do a lot of walking. I do take my dogs out a lot. Sometimes I take my dogs out and I don't want to be getting dirty. I don't want them to jump all over my clothes. Dogs that I know that I take out regularly, dogs that I know that's going to be going back and forth throughout the day, I'm not going to put them back on an O-ring and then have to throw them between my legs to tie them up and all that type of stuff like that. So I have them on a regular heavy-duty clamp. And that way, when it's time for me to walk them, I just go boom, throw them on the clamp, and I'm gone. Throw them on the clamp and I'm gone. And when it comes to anything else, as far as somebody getting your dog or something like that, pretty much there's nothing going to stop somebody from getting your dog if they want your dog. O-ring, no ring, T-ring, G-ring, C-ring, no kind of ring. You know what I'm saying? Getting loose-wise, let's talk a little bit about that when it comes to dog security and whether the O-ring is more secure than the clamp. Okay, the clamp, when you're dealing with them heavy-duty clamps, we know they wear out over a period of time, so the O-ring is going to, off top, be more secure than it. But when you have these smart dogs, sometimes you have to be careful because you get these smart dogs to start figuring out how to get their necks out the collar. And once a dog ever figure out how to get his neck out the collar, you got a problem, my brother or my sister. I'm here to tell you, once your dog ever figure out how to escape the collar, you got to put that collar on him tight enough where, just where he can get air, but he can't get nothing else. You know what I'm saying? As long as he can breathe good, that's how you have to put that collar on him tight and make sure, you got to keep checking it regularly, making sure he ain't growing to the collar or nothing like that. But once you get what we call an escape artist, once you get an escape artist, you got a problem on your hands. So a dog getting loose all the time is not really necessarily all the time based on clamps and O-rings, because a lot of the brothers who have most of the yard accidents not coming from clamps, they're coming from O-rings. But I will say O-rings are secure because it's just one piece. It's not no like the mechanism you got to flip up with springs and none of the other type stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? So I would recommend the O-ring for somebody who's going to leave their dog on a chain and just, leave them there for a while, at least a couple days or so without walking them. I would recommend the O-ring rather. Sorry about that. It's just the fact that I use the clamps because it's more convenient for me when it comes to taking my dogs off. I just don't feel like getting all dirty, especially with some of these wild acting dogs that you have. When they see you, they be so happy to see you. You come and you want to take them off and they just won't stop wiggling, won't stop wagging their tail. You got to hold them between your legs to take the O-ring off. So, the clamp is why I like, to use sometime. You know what I'm saying? Now, on another note, if a brother was referring to the chain size, we don't do the big chains over here. We do the chains that the law requires. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You go by the law, you don't have to worry about certain things. You know what I'm saying? And you don't give them no reason to mess with you. I'm not quite sure where the statement came from because, I don't, and I'm not responding in no kind of way as far as like you came on some negative stuff or something like that, because I didn't feel that way at all. I was just responding to the statement about the change. So you know where I'm at with mine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they got them chain laws, man, where you have to have them a certain percentage of body weight with the dogs. And the thing about it, man, a lot of these dogs aren't gonna pop the chains if you kind of keep up with the chains when they start getting old and stuff. A lot of these dogs won't pop them. Most of the chain accidents don't come from pop chains. They come from the dog getting out of the collar somewhere or another, or the dog getting off the clamp or the O-ring, whatever he got loose, but it came from the collar. Most of the time it's from the collars. Every now and then you get pop chains, you know what I'm saying? But you just got to be safe all the way around. To each his own when it comes to that. Everybody know how they handle their dogs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what they do with their dogs and what kind of security they're going to need as far as clamps, rings, whatever. You have different, because my homeboy showed me a clamp the other day. I'm talking about it's extra secure. Got the safety on the back. You can't even lift it up unless you move it a certain way. But I mean, like I said, it's to each his own, man. Now, I had a brother that asked me, can I give him some demonstrations with Mellow Yellow, teaching him the down command? And I was going to definitely get that to you, my brother, but I figured out something else I needed to do. I'm training a pit bull. I'm about to start training a pit bull within the next week or so. So when I start that pit bull is when I give you that training. That way you can see it from day one. You can see it from the start to the end. Because, Mellow Yellow doesn't know how to do it already. So it'll be, I can show you, but I'm going to show you with a fresh dog. So y'all brothers, y'all and sisters, tune in to that. I'm going to be training the dog named Ace. We're going to be getting down and dirty. When it comes to this obedience, we're not doing no protection, just strictly obedience. Getting them dogs the way they supposed to be. So, y'all just stay tuned into that, man. Y'all just stay tuned in that. I'm going to keep y'all updated. Like I said, it'll be within the next week or so. Within the next week or so. Now, another thing I want to talk about, now my brother Working Line Canine asked me, how do I go about it when I'm getting ready for a keep, when I'm going into the digital, Samurai Kennel Digital Dog Show, or the ADBA Dog Show, or any other type of dog show when it comes to confirmation, or even the weight pull or anything like that. Anything that I'm getting ready for a performance, and confirmation is a performance, First thing I want to say to my brother Working Line K9, first thing I'm going to do is make sure my dog healthy. We're going to start with steps 1, and we'll work our way down as the video go along, or, we'll work our way down. But step 1 is to make sure you got a healthy dog. I'm a big advocate of letting the puppies grow. I always say it. Let the puppies grow. But making sure you got a healthy dog, making sure the dog wormed out, heartworms, all your worm medicine, give them all that. First thing, like I said, first thing I always want to make sure is the dog is healthy. Once I know, making sure the dog all wormed out and everything, I feel like he's good, then the thing is, okay, knowing how to call your weight. When I say call your weight, knowing what your desired weight is going to be before you start your program. Now, in order to do that, one thing you got to know is what an in-shape dog look like. What an in-shape dog look like. So let me give you a few pictures right here. Now, the first ingredient to calling a weight right is knowing what an in-shape bulldog looks like. See, that's why I put them pictures up there. Knowing what a dog looks like when he's in tip-top shape, then you can look at the dog that you're looking at in front of you, knowing that he's not in tip-top shape, and know kind of roughly estimate what you can take him to, because you know what a fully fit, in shape bulldog looks like. You know what I'm saying? No matter what his weight is, you know what one looks like. So if he 45 pounds and he's got a bunch of fat on him, you know what I'm saying? And you know what an in shape bulldog looks like. See, that's why I always tell my brothers to play with that scale. You know what I'm saying? Know what weights look like. Know how much 5 pounds look like on a dog when your dog 5 pounds overweighted. Know what 10 pounds look like on a dog when your dog 10 pounds overweighted. Know what 2 pounds look like when your dog 2 pounds overweighted. And that way, when you're not even around the scales and you just look at your dog, you can just tell your friend, you're like, looking at him, give or take right now, about 2 pounds off. And especially if you throw him on the scale and you see exactly what he weighed right then you know how to call that weight. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what's weighing what. You know what I'm saying? The fat that's weighing this or the muscle that's weighing this. You know what I'm saying? Because you play with the beams a lot. You play with the scales a lot. When you play with the scales, you get familiar and familiar. See, that's the main thing, to calling the weight right. We tell y'all brothers to get ready for this Samurai Kennel Digital Dog Show. Shout out to all my brothers that participated. Shout out to all my brothers that's waiting for the results. So if you ask me, one of the most important things to knowing how to get a dog right on weight is playing with that scale, knowing what them pounds look like, knowing what his weight looked like when he used the bathroom, when he got food in him, when his stomach full up. You got to know all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That stuff that you need to know before you even start talking about you getting one in shape. Now, when you going into a confirmation show, you got a little more leadway. So you can do all that. You can play, you can experiment. And one thing about it, that's different now that brothers now have it better in, because back in the days, if we was doing it for a match type show, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to make mistakes. You only got 8 weeks and you got to be right. You know what I'm saying? We're doing it for a confirmation show, modern day time. You can make a mistake because, you don't got no crazy bread on it like that. And it's like, you're just going into the competition hoping that you got one of the best dogs in the competition. You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-on-one thing. See, this is the deal. When it comes to getting them ready for a confirmation show, the most important thing is to know. One of the most important things you need to know is, what's your goal? What's the end result? What are you trying to reach? And you need to know that before you start anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to play around and do your little 5 and 6 week keeps and play with it and stuff like that, and learn things when you don't got a confirmation show ahead of you, or you don't got no type of competition, and you can be more on point with what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You can be more on point with what you're trying to do. It's all about knowing that weight. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your dog. If you know how a conditioned dog look, no matter what dog you look at that moment, you can kind of give an estimate of what that dog will weigh. You know what I'm saying? At condition, prime condition. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of give a rough estimate. And that's because you good, your eyes good. You good with the pounds. You good. You already estimating all that stuff in. When a person say, what you think he'll weigh? When you look at that, if you're talking to a person who know how to call a weight, they already, saying this dog probably got food in him. He got a little bit of fat on him, or if he don't, they looking at his body structure to see if he can lose anything. They gonna keep all that into mind. The dog got food in him. How much time you got, how much the dog is already far from the weight that you looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that play. You got 8 weeks. Your dog is 46 pounds. You trying to get him to 45 pounds, and you got 8 weeks to go. So you maybe call the wrong weight. You know what I'm saying? You may call the wrong weight, and then just so happen if you didn't call the wrong weight and your dog is a 45, and you keep him at match weight pretty much all the time, you just got to know how to maintain the weight that he got, how to maintain it. Then it comes, the same thing comes into play again. Weighing your food, knowing how much, when he drinks a full bucket of water, when he drinks all the water he want to drink, till he get tired, how much that adds on to him. See, that's why I don't take my dog water away from him the whole time I'm doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact is, in an 8-week time, after I work him, you know, he's not gonna drink 1 gallon of water today and then tomorrow drink 2 gallons of water. You know what I'm saying? And make him to where he's 2 pounds heavier. You know what I'm saying? When I'm working him and I'm giving him the water, I'm checking everything out. I'm checking him when I take him and I weigh him. I work him and he cooled off and he go drink his water. I throw him on the scale again to see what he weighing now. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I know all the odds and ends, which way it can fall, which way it can go when it comes to that weight wise. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm doing before I even start anything. You know the weights. When you start your keep off and you're going into a real competition and you don't know how to play with the weights yet, or you don't know exactly what you're doing, you know, it's good to go out there and try it, because it's all about trial and error. You know what I'm saying? It's all about trial and error. You know, but the thing is, if something's on the line, you know what I'm saying, make sure you be as precise as you can, you know, if you got something on the line, you know. But if it's just you playing around, that's why I advise all brothers to just play around sometime. You know what I'm saying? Play around. You don't get good at nothing unless you practice at it. You know, if you only wait until you're going in a confirmation show, how many confirmation shows you going in throughout the year? You know, you got to be going to all the confirmation shows in order to get enough practice, you know, to get you on point and right. So in order to do that, you got to just practice when you ain't got no shows going on. Just practice on a little 4-week keep. This practice on a few weeks. All you trying to do is see if you can maintain weight with water and food. Can you, if he weighing 46 pounds a day, can you keep him at 46 pounds in 2 weeks? Your whole goal is not to get him in shape far as skinny and all that. Your whole goal is to just feed him certain amounts of food, check his weight every day, every other day. No matter, we're not talking about no going to no confirmation show. We just talking about learning how to control the food, learning how to look at his food intake, call the weights he at, learn how to maintain that weight. Just say, for instance, if you keep him at your show weight, and then it's time to do a show and you got an 8-week keep, you want to feed him, keep him healthy, keep him just as strong as he was, you know, without cutting back any feeds you was doing, because you weren't cutting back from the start. You had him on a certain diet. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to cut back. So you got to know how to play with them scales, man. Know how to play with them scales. Know how to see the weight on your dog and see what can be took away from your dog and what needs to stay there. You know, what needs to be taken away and what needs to stay. Now we get to the next topic when we're talking about what needs to stay and what needs to be taken away. Because when we take away too much, sometimes we take away the strength of the dog. You know, we take the strength of the dog away when we take away too much weight from some of these dogs. You know, and the thing about it, a seasoned dog, man, can see a dog sometimes if they look weak, when they look like they a little too small. He can see them. He can see a weak dog, not saying sick dog, but a dog that's not as strong as he could be if he had maybe a pound more on him. You know, a real seasoned dog, man, or a judge at some of these places, some of these events, they would know that this dog is a little weaker than he would normally be. You know, you can just look at some of them and tell there's too much weight gone. Maybe that's not too much weight for him, you know, but maybe it be too much weight for you, because everybody have different opinions when it comes to their perfect weight. You know, some brothers say they like the backbone to just be barely tapping out the skin. You know what I'm saying? Some people say they don't like that. You know, everybody have their own way of doing it. For me, I like to throw the line down the side. I like for my dog to have the line down the side. If he don't have the line down the side, I know I didn't do something right. You know, not saying that he don't got win. I'm talking about far as my workout plan. My workout plan at the end of Pelican Bay Kennel's workout plan, dog has a line down the side of the rib cage. You know, I was taught like that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days when I was, learning how to get my dog right. You know, and it's one thing about it, man. We could talk about these dogs, techniques and tips, but at the end of the day, each dog, man, got their own little secrets that they'll never reveal. The what makes certain things tick when it comes to these dogs. Every dog, man, got their own secrets. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I love the line. You know what I'm saying? The line is not something every dog, man, can achieve. You know, if you can't achieve the line, it's not something that you should feel bad about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't even look for the line. Some brothers don't even know to look for the line. You know, it's just something I look for. You know, and it makes me understand, what level of training that dog been through. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. And like I say, I can tell 95% of my tips and tricks and all that. But I got to keep 5% for myself. Because I got to compete with y'all brothers in these dog shows. You know what I'm saying? Samurai say he going to drop the next digital dog show, I think, in the springtime of next year. Man, I got to be ready to compete. So in order to compete, I got to keep 5%, at least 5% of secrets, hidden back in the stash. So when I come out, you can say, PBK, something you ain't tell us, boy, how to do over there. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Like we said, Working Line Canine, all my brothers and sisters out there. First thing, make sure you got a healthy dog. Second thing, making sure you know how to get the weights right. Making sure you got a goal in mind before you start your confirmation show. You should have a goal in mind. What I'm going to take this dog to. He's at this, what I'm going to take him to. And before you say that, you should already know that the weight that you're going to take him to is going to have him the way you want him to be looking. In order to know that, it takes practice, takes trial and error. That's all it is to it. Trial and error. Then you want to concentrate on your feed. What you feeding this dog to get him right. And a lot of brothers put too much emphasis on their brand of food. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the brand or the quality of dog they got, instead of, cause I seen brothers take low quality dog food like pedigree, like what brothers say apple the other night, like what we call commercial dog food. Take that dog food and work they keep with it. You can add things. See, I use a lot of greens. Greens, eggs is good for the coat. Eggs gonna give you a shiny coat. Raw eggs, shell and all. Of course, we want to make sure the eggs are good, out the refrigerator, or either some people who got farms and the chickens hatch eggs or whatever. You know how to take the eggs away and feed it to your dogs and stuff like that. Or you know how to do it. Yeah, eggs, greens, cheese, all different kind of things you can feed your dog, and I'm talking about this is outside of raw. This is with kibble. You know what I'm saying? Adding this stuff with your dog kibble. I always used to feed Sambo raw collard greens. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my more modern dogs, I fed them cooked collard greens. I fed Sambo raw collard greens, straight raw collard greens, just cut them up like grass, looking like grass, and put it in the dog food. Sometimes he eats some of it because I mix other stuff up with it, so he ain't have no choice but to eat it. But to make it, and another thing, when you cook greens, the juice in the pot is all the vitamins. You want to make sure you got all that water that you steam them greens. Don't cook it all the way, just steam it. And when you steam it, you keep all that water and add it to your food as well. You don't necessarily have to add it right then. But if you can take that water and somehow or another get that water inside that dog body, that's where all your nutrients at, in that water. So remember that too. When you steam vegetables in your pot, save your water. Or you don't have to save it day for day. You know what I'm saying? But just save it. And I didn't think about this, but this is kind of, I guess it would make sense. Okay. Now, say we steaming the vegetables, right? Carrots, say we steam some carrots, get them good and soft. Say we steam some collards. Say we steam some mustards. Okay? Now, just say we put some of the juice on the dog food or whatever, but now we save us a bottle of all that juice. Wouldn't that be similar to a V8? I'm asking y'all right now. I'm not telling y'all. I'm asking you. Wouldn't that be kind of similar to a V8 if you keep it cold? Take that water that's from that steamed vegetables, keep it cold in the refrigerator, and then when you out walking or out and about, give your dog some of that water. And now he getting the vitamins from the vegetables. You know what I'm saying? As well, just like a V8 juice, as well as water. I just thought about that just now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. But I gotta give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Gotta give it to you. You know, and I believe I may be right about this. If you take that water from those steamed vegetables, because you may do, different vegetables or whatever, and you just keep your water in like a little bottle or something. Save some in a bottle, 2 liter or something. Make sure it's good and cold so, won't have no excuse for it going bad or anything. Plus, you want your dog to get some good cold water. Come off the treadmill, give them some of that water from the vegetables. Give them some of that. You never can get too much greens, unless you're just feeding straight greens. And some brothers know how to do that for like at least 1 day or 2. Just feed them straight greens. But that's when you start talking about advanced work when it comes to getting that dog on point and on the dime when it comes to that weight. Next thing you want to know, your dog work style when it comes to exercising. Knowing what your dog potential is to give out to you and what your dog doesn't have potential for. Like I told y'all brothers before, I seen one stop doing the flirt pole. And I wasn't even flirt poling that long, and he stopped doing the flirt pole and he stopped doing the show. Some dogs just gonna show you, they showing you what they gonna do. If he lose drive at something that he's chasing right now, and he just lose drive and he's not super tired yet, then he liable to lose drive at something else he's chasing. He liable to be chasing a hog through the woods and just all of a sudden quit, turn around and come back towards you, light switch. You know what I'm saying? Come back towards you, on and off. Here 1 minute, go on the next. Here 1 minute in the brain, go on the next. When I say in the brain, he think he here right now, and then 2 seconds later, his brain somewhere else. He thinking he in La La Land. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man. Knowing your dog inside out is the key. You know what I'm saying? Knowing your dog inside out is the key. And the thing about it, one thing about it, I'm going to tell you this right here. A lot of dogs may not work. A lot of dogs may, it takes certain things to get certain dogs working, But back in the days, what I found out, dogs will chase after a lot of things. Dogs will get on them treadmills and they'll freeze up and they'll drop down low and keep the wheel from rolling. They'll do all that. But when you got a chicken, around that dog open out, open out. I'm talking about open out in a way you ain't never seen open out. If you seen your dog run on the mill full throttle and you ain't never put a chicken or nothing like that in front of him, you see, a cat is not the same. A cat is not the same. A chicken, a chicken, if once he see a chicken will walk around in front of him, a chicken be making different noises. Let me tell you what a chicken does. It helps a dog build his second wind. I ain't gonna keep telling y'all all my secrets. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna like I told you, I'll tell you 95% of them, but I can't tell you the other 5. I have to take you out. I can't say the K word. I have to take you out if I tell you the other 5%. You know what I'm saying? But listen, let me explain to you the difference between a chicken, my brothers. And my brothers in the city, you might be mad because you can't have no chickens where you at. You know what I'm saying? This ain't talking to my brothers in the city in New York. This talking to my brothers in the city across the country. No matter what, you might be down south in the city somewhere, you can't have no chicken. Let me tell you about a chicken. Difference between a chicken and other things you may put in front of your dog, you know. And I'll even explain the difference between all that stuff, okay? You put a chicken in front of it. Say, okay, when they took my dogs, I had, a chicken in the cage. At that time, I wasn't doing any type of illegal activities, That's why I stand so firm on the stuff that I say, because, what I got charged with, and I wasn't doing that at the time just because of my situation I had when I got caught with the dope. That's why I stand so firm on that. But anyway, I had the cage, right? Had the cage. Chicken in it. Now, when you put the dog on a treadmill, your dog gonna run fast from the start, right? He gonna run fast. He gonna see the chicken and he gonna open up. Chicken walking around in front of him, he not used to it. Okay, he gonna open up. He gonna run full throttle. Chicken gonna walk, say chicken in a little cage, chicken gonna walk around for a few seconds. Okay, chicken gonna stop. Your dog gonna slow up eventually because he gonna be used to the chicken in front of him by then. He'll slow up. Chicken stop moving. All of a sudden, chicken start back moving. Dog was in a slow trot. Catching his air. Chicken start moving. Dog, all you hear is the treadmill about to spin off the thing. I'm talking about spinning. Just because that chicken started moving, right? Chicken, moving back and forth still. Dog going open on the treadmill for a good 5 minutes. Full throttle, he going 5 minutes. Chicken stop moving. Dog's getting his, pacing it down again. He back going steady on the mill, steady on it. Pacing it. The next thing you know, chicken will make a little noise. Bark, bark, bark. Move a little bit. Walk around a little bit again. Soon as he move a little bit more, the dog open back up again. With that chicken in front of the dog, he basically got to work himself, learn how to get his second wind, because his drive to get that chicken is going to be so high that he won't be able to stop running. He will, because a cur will stop. A cur just stop and say, I don't want to run no more. And when I say a cur, I mean a dog that will not compete on any level of activity. Because, see, you can say a cur is a dog that quit in the fight. Nah. You got dogs out here who won't put up a good treadmill race, who won't put up a good... He did these two. He went up 5 feet or he went up 6 feet, but now he acting like a... Same way a cur do. A cur is a cur, no matter what event it is. You know what I'm saying? No matter what event it is, And I just wanted to mention that about the chicken or whatever, because the chicken is something that I've seen that is a clean animal. I don't like cats, and I'm not about abusing animals or nothing like that. They said I was using the chicken for baiting. You know what I'm saying? But that dog would have never touched that chicken. That was my pet. That was my friend chicken. That chicken had a name. You know what I'm saying? I had one named Liu Kang. I had him named after the Mortal Kombat characters. You know what I'm saying? Superman, I had one named Superman. Jet Li. Bruce Lee. Hey, my chickens had names. They was pets. They wasn't nothing I was going to abuse or shoot with no pellet gun or none of that. I fed him. I gave him water. He just go in the cage. And I actually didn't even keep that chicken in the cage. The chicken had a tie down on his leg, just like a dog chain, but it's a rope, what you buy for chickens. I let them stay on the yard just like the dogs. You know what I'm saying? If I have a chain accident, that's the only problem. When I come into a problem. Only time I ever had that problem when I had Sambo. He got loose one time, and I had a rooster on the yard, or a gamecock, but I didn't have him chained all the way out. I had him chained out, and I had a small little bull jive rabbit fence type material around her. But Bo went through that rabbit material and got hold of the chicken. But I got back there just in time enough where he didn't kill him. He took a lot of feathers off of him. But one thing about them gamecocks, they'll fight back. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to fight back. But yeah, man. You always want to find something your dog really, really, really loves. You're not going to use no chicken. You know, you really got to be creative when it comes to bringing that fire out of your dog. You know what I'm saying? You got to be creative sometimes. You know, you got to do what the next person ain't. Like I used to just go buy basketballs. When I had Bo, I used to just go buy basketballs for nothing. Just buy them just to let them bust them. My whole attention was go to Walmart, get 3 basketballs, get one of them, I'll roll them over there real quick, let them just hit it. Psst, he busted instantly. One basketball just bust for nothing, wasted money. Then I might get another one and use it to do the treadmill, bouncing in front of him, He want it bad. You know what I'm saying? Just like I told y'all before, anytime brothers play basketball in the streets and Bo was tied up next to the streets, I tied him up around the streets and the ball went towards him, that was a wrap. Leave it over there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to run over there and grab the ball from Bo because he was so big. And then they already knew what he was going to do to it once it get over there. You know, he had a reputation for busting basketballs. So I would go by, when it's time for me to get him in shape and get him ready, I keep basketballs. Keep balls. You know what I'm saying? I walking through the hood and see a ball laying on the side of the road pumped up. Shit, I'm taking it with me. Me and Bo about to bust this. You know what I'm saying? And it's about doing what the next man ain't going to do. It's about knowing what your dog desire when it comes to playtime. You know what I'm saying? Because every dog is different. I might can bring out the balls and make him run. Well, you might have to bring out a little toy to go, little squeaky toy thing, you know. Can't get the noise off, right? But you know what I'm talking about. You know, don't think that your dog won't react the way you want him to react off them little commercial toys. You know what I'm saying? Every dog don't react off a cowhide. You know, when it comes to flirt poling and stuff like that, or treadmill and the different things. Some dogs do it, some dogs don't. You know, PBK9s give it to you, some channels won't. You know, some gonna like it, some ain't. You know, it just is what it is. Now, if you're looking for the perfect canine supplement, look no further than Vertex Canine Essentials. Vertex Canine Essentials is great for all breeds of dogs. It's great for both male and female. It's great for pregnant female dogs. It's plenty of vitamins in it to take care of the puppies while they're in the stomach. It's great for newborn weaning puppies. Puppies about 4 to 6 weeks old. It's great for new growing puppies. It's great for their bones. If you do a lot of working out with your dogs. It's great for your post-workouts, your pre-workouts. Make you a little shake. Mix a little bit up in it. Make you a little shake and let the dog lap it up. Pre-workout, you'll see the energy come in your dog. Post-workout, you'll see the energy come back into your dog when you're dealing with Vertex Canine Essentials. If you're looking for it, it'll be a link down in the description, as well as a promotional code. Use that code, get your discount. Just remember when you heard it first. PBK9's Dog TV. Now, how to tell if your dog is healthy, how to see the signs of bad health. You know, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but I will say pink gums, when your dog is worm, you know if you worm your dog out or not. You know, pink gums, and a fat pit bull is not a healthy pit bull. A healthy pit bull is a slender pit bull, one that is pretty much slender in weight. Weight pretty much fluctuates with his body size, with his structure or whatever. Not too much fat on this end, not too much fat on that end. You know, pretty well-rounded, a well-rounded dog. One that can go out and exercise without being overly tired. You know, if you take your dog out to do some exercise and then you see he's panting, like super panting, then you know he's got too much weight on him. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it, we like to have our dogs big and healthy looking, especially to the folk who have their dogs in the houses, and for the brothers and sisters who may not have the how can I put it? May not have the real super energetic dogs, you know what I'm saying? They may put on more weight, and you may feel like this is the way he should look, but in actuality, you know, he's not healthy. It's no different than a person, you know, no different than a person. What's healthy weight for a person, you know? every height, every, age and height, all that matters when it comes to a weight for a person. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the same way with a dog. Just because he's fat doesn't mean he's healthy. And just because he's skinny don't mean he's healthy either. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's skinny definitely don't mean he's healthy. When a dog is healthy and a dog is taken care of and the dog is worked out in shape, you can pretty much lay your eyes on it and see that dog is healthy. From the skin shining, the coat shining, to he just seemed happy. You know what I'm saying? Just seemed happy as a dog. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And like I always say, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit it. Because I know some people looking at this video haven't subscribed yet. My brothers haven't subscribed yet. Now, if you need promotion, holler at me as well on the back street. If you need any type of promotion for any type of goods or service, holler at me and we'll make it happen. We'll make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I support all businesses. If you need the promotion, holler at me. If you need some more promotion, holler at me. You getting some over here, but you might need a little bit over there. Holler at me. We're going to make it happen. Next on the agenda, we're talking a little bit about genetics. I want y'all to look at old Dan, my old coon dog. Old Dan. Check that picture out of old Dan. And I like to talk about genetics. Okay, now let's go back many generations to Malkunt's Chocolata. Now, when you check that pitch out, see the ears? Then we talking generations down. Old Dan, you see the ears? Sometimes I wonder if he gonna fly away. Them ears so big. Then the biggest set of ears I seen on a dog yet. Now I seen some big ears. Then there's some damn big ears there, boy. That's why I had to call him my old coon dog when he was a puppy. You know what I'm saying? Just by the ears, he looked like old Dan from where the red fern grows. That's why I named him Old Dan. Old Dan. Where the red fern grows. The old coon dog right there. But yeah, it's about genetics, man. A lot of these dogs, if some of the genetics don't show us quite as well as others, and then you don't have pictures to go off of. It's a blessing when you have pictures to go off of so you can see the genetics in some dogs. Like when you look at Grand Champion Hog, and then you turn around and look at Laz 8's 187 600. The 600 dog. When you look at the 600 dog that's coming directly off Mayday, and then you look at Grand Champion Hog, they damn near look the same. When you look at War Pony ears, and then you look at Old Dan ears, you see the flap in it. Same position. You just have to look at genetics. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things, man. And sometimes you can't. We can go off all these old stories. You know what I'm saying? We can go off these old stories. But what's an old story if I say, Hog is off Chinaman, right? If I say Hog is off Chinaman, just making something up. Hog is off Chinaman. But there's no proof in the pudding to show none of the offspring is coming off looking like Chinaman. That's just a bunch of talk. Now, when you get puppies off Hog and they looking like what they're supposed to look like, how can you compare that against a conspiracy theory? You can't compare that to a conspiracy theory. And it's just about genetics when it comes to these dogs, man. And it's about some folk not having it, wanting it, so they'll do anything to say they got it. Folk make mistakes and then they don't cover up for their mistakes, or they try to cover up for their mistakes. Folk don't take claims for their mistakes when they make mistakes when it comes to these breedings. You know what I'm saying? Certain things just don't happen. Certain things just don't happen. Banks don't get robbed with nobody don't come in there with no pistol. Things just don't happen. Now, this is a subject I wanted to touch on, because we always talk about breeding for better, breeding for better, breeding for better. Let me ask you this, right? How can you breed for better when your dog is always doped up? What I mean by that, what do you know is better? What is better? You don't know what your dog can do. You don't know what your dog is capable of, or either you know what your dog is capable of. See, now, if you got 10 brothers who see that dog in the show and he full up on juice, they don't see that dog, what he's really worth. They don't see the real dog. They see what you built and brought out there, on the juice. They don't see what he's going to produce. He's not going to produce the juice. If he produced the juice, then that means he's sterile. You know what I'm saying? That means he's sterile if he produced the juice. He's not going to produce what he looked like on that juice. You got him looking like a 10 on that juice, but really he is 6. He going to produce 6 damn dogs. You know what I'm saying? And people going to be wondering why, he don't look like the daddy. I'm sure he don't look like the daddy. The daddy was on that Jose Canseco, that Barry Bonds. Neck like this right here. That ain't his real neck. That ain't his real heart. That ain't his real attitude. That ain't his real ability. You see, it's pros and cons to all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like we always say, nobody cared what no brother was on. But we just talking about the pros and the cons. If we talking about breeding better, the better, breeding for better, how can you get better when your dog already is cheating already? You don't really got the true genetics that's doing this to these animals. You know what I'm saying? You got a syringe filled with some type of injection that's making this dog to a beast. And then when the people breed their dogs, they getting mutts. Getting straight mutts, straight curves, straight box jumpers. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. See, when Going Hard went and bred the Little Giant, that's why he didn't get the puppies he wanted. Because your dog is used to being on juice, so you don't really know how the puppy's supposed to act. When your dog's used to being on juice all the time, how do you know how the offspring's supposed to act? What you think, the offspring gonna come out acting the way he act when he in that square? And he full up on them CCs? No, man. The offspring gonna act like he was acting before he took them CCs. So if we breeding for better, how can we breed for better when you taking shots? Your whole purpose can't be breeding for better. If you go in there using shots, which is all good because there's no law saying you couldn't use them. Nobody cared what you used. I gotta say once again, nobody cared what you used. But at the end of the day, when it comes to breeding, and you're not winning naturally, then you don't really know what you're producing. You're producing a lie is what you're producing. You're selling a lie, and I don't care what kennel it is. You can say, it takes a 7 and turn them to a 9. Well, damn, we want to see what them 7 puppies look like. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, you look like you had a 9, so I'm expecting these puppies to be super phenomenal puppies, but really, your dog is a little over average. So I should have been expecting just a little bit average puppies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we can argue and say this, but once we start getting to the point, see, the steroids didn't matter to nobody back in the days. But once it get to the point where it starts getting into these conversations, it starts getting into these chats and stuff, then we can talk about the pros and the cons. The pros and the cons. Had one that went blind. One is 4th blind. One is 4th blind. And that was only for one thing. Only for one thing. He wouldn't have went blind natural. When they overheat, when they start getting hot on that thing and they juiced up, see, what they ain't going to tell you is all the stuff that can happen that can make that dog lose instead of win. See, I was lucky enough to have one that went blind and still crossed the line. He won his 4th as a blind dog. Won his 4th as a blind. Never regained his sight back. You know? And I know this dog was full of mess. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Everybody have their own way of going about it. Being that brothers are going to these confirmation shows, there's really less reason to use all that stuff now. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to make them that way you tried to make them back then. You know, so it's really less reason to use all that stuff. But me, myself, personally, I always live by the code of, if he can do it, if he can win it, and he's supposed to win it, then he gonna win it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need this shot. You know what I'm saying? I never needed this shot. No matter if I won or no matter if I lost, I want to lose fair and square. When I say fair and square, I mean it's not cheating, but I want to know that my dog won it or he didn't win it with what I'm breeding, not with what I shot at him. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I never put no bets down back then that would put me in that type of pressure to make decisions like that. You know, I didn't go out there betting the house on a show. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it. You know, that's why I found a bulldog, because I didn't go out there putting 30 and 40 and 50 and 20 and 10 and 5 on every single show. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to make some noise, let's make some noise. I ain't gonna give you no excuse to back out. You know what I'm saying? No excuse to back out. And I got the big dog right now. When I say big dog, I mean the one with the name. The one with the name. They should be saying, oh, I don't want you unless you're doing 20 G's. I don't want you unless you're doing 30. No. What you want to do? You know, crack that soda, crack that beer up. Let's get this thing shaking. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We get it shaking in 6 weeks, 4 weeks. I did 4-week keeps. Keep is a keep. You know what I'm saying? I could do a 2-week keep. 2-week keep. Same old rules as everything else. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, agreement was an agreement. You know what I'm saying? A win was a win and a loss was a loss. You know, 4 weeks didn't make no difference from 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever. You know, long as you played by the rules. And it was what it was. And it beats me to understand how folk can think they breeding for the best when you never seen your dog true best. You only seen what your figment of your imagination. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you won that $1, but that wasn't your dog that was out there that day. You know, that wasn't your dog that was out there that day. And I'm going to leave on this note. I'm going to leave this subject on this note. You want to know what you got? Play the game natural. You know what I'm saying? Play the game natural. I was doing a recording. I heard my dogs in the backyard barking and making all kind of noise. I ran outside to see what was going on. I thought maybe one of them maybe loose or something. So I went outside to see what was going on. And I could see Red Lady, which is Grand Champion Hawk daughter. I could see her back there jumping around a little bit. Like, I couldn't really tell it was her or one of the dogs was back there with her. So I went a little closer and I could see that was her. And I see she was shaking something up. She had something in her mouth. You know, I've seen her shake up the sticks and stuff like that before. But as I looked a little closer, I noticed this time this wasn't no stick. This was the real deal. You know, Red Lady had a South Carolina copperhead in her mouth, shaking it up. By the time I got there, the copperhead was dead already. You know what I'm saying? The copperhead was dead already. Big boy. But yeah, the snake was dead. Thankfully, Red Lady wasn't bit, because I went and checked out today. She wasn't bit. She had no swelling nowhere. She was acting totally normal. No fevers or anything. She was acting normal last night. Only thing I did notice, she was looking around for it. You know, she was looking on the ground since last night, even today. When she walked in that area where I seen her shaking that snake up at, she was looking around and she was smelling on the ground, looking for it. You know, looking for it. And then, you know, I'm glad she got it. I'm glad she got it without getting hurt at the same time. You know, took a snake out. We don't got to worry about him in the future or her in the future. You know, and that's a nice size one. They probably could produce some right there. But yeah, man, stay safe out there. Throw the mothballs out, they say. And the rattlesnake sulfur and, you know, just sulfur in general out there on the edges and places that you don't want the snakes to come. You know, Places that you don't want the snakes to come. But yeah, the snake was dead. Thankfully, Red Lady wasn't bit, because I went and checked out today. She wasn't bit. She had no swelling nowhere. She was acting totally normal. No fevers or anything. She was acting normal last night. Only thing I did notice, she was looking around for it. She was looking on the ground since last night, even today. When she walked in that area where I seen her shaking that snake up at, she was looking around and she was smelling on the ground, looking for it. Looking for it. And then, I'm glad she got it. I'm glad she got it without getting hurt at the same time. Took a snake out. We don't got to worry about him in the future or her in the future. And that's a nice size one that probably could produce some right there. But yeah, man, stay safe out there. Throw the mothballs out, they say. And the rattlesnake sulfur and, just sulfur in general out there on the edges and places that you don't want the snakes to come. Places that you don't want the snakes to come. We do have a pit bull ban that's being lifted in October in Florida. More information on it. Check it out.
Law that will lift county bans on certain dog breeds. It's called the Dangerous Dogs Law, and it will mainly impact pit bull owners. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen is here now to break it down for us tonight. Jordan.
Yeah, Mark, this new law takes effect October 1st and will effectively strip away any county ordinances banning people from owning certain dog breeds like pit bulls. Since 1989, it has been illegal in Miami-Dade County to own any dog which substantially conforms to a pit bull dog breed. Other states like Iowa, Missouri, Michigan, Tennessee all have similar bans in place. Organizations like dogsbite.org and the NPB-VA, or National Pit Bull Victim Awareness Organization, support breed-specific legislation, pointing to statistics from the World Animal Foundation. They show between 2010 and 2021, pit bulls were responsible for 65% of fatal and disfiguring attacks on people. But others like the ASPCA challenge the numbers and argue they aren't based in science. Science Direct found 75% of dogs are incorrectly labeled as pit bulls.
And it shouldn't be about a specific breed. It should be about the individual dog. If a dog has assessed by a trainer, it's got a good behavior certificate, and it's passed with flying colors, it shouldn't be banned from being able to stay with its family.
And while the new law prohibits local governments from passing ordinances banning certain dog breeds, it won't apply to private landlords, homeowners associations, or insurance companies. However, it could impact public housing authorities. Once again, the new law takes effect October 1st. And coming up at 11, we're talking to the son of an 87-year-old woman who was viciously attacked by two pit bulls near Orlando. He has a strong opinion about the law that may surprise you, where he thinks the blame really lies. That's coming up. Mark?
I think there are going to be a lot of strong opinions on this one either way, George.
Big salute again to my brothers down in the chat, my sisters down there in the chat. I want to make it clear when we talk about these bloodlines and when I talk down on certain bloodlines, like, don't mistake it. It's just barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just one day we talking good about a line, the next day we might be talking bad about a line. The next day after that we might be talking good about a line again. It's just to keep the conversation going, man. You know what I'm saying? I love and like all lines out there. Everybody got their own preference of what they running. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a pit bull is a pit bull. We're going to get into a little talk as well about Jeep brother Charlie, because I hear a little talk about Charlie, and we're just going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to do something like this on throughout all the episodes in the future, where we're going to at least talk about one dog, bloodline, and the particular stories behind that dog. Charlie a 4-time winner as well as Jeep. You got to ask yourself, why wasn't Charlie bred as much as Jeep? We got to ask ourselves, because we always saying Charlie, we would have rather have puppies off Charlie or this or that. Why wasn't Charlie bred as much? Charlie only been bred, online pedigree says 26 times. Okay. Which we know that's probably not accurate, but just give or take, it says 26 times. Okay. Now, when it comes to his brother Jeep, Jeep is numerous pages. Now, Charlie did produce one grand champion and one champion. out of the dogs that he produced. Out of the 26 offspring, or 26 breeding rather. He got Grand Champion Ace and another champion. I can't remember her name, but it's another champion. Okay, now when we start looking at why Charlie wasn't bred as much as Jeep, maybe it's a couple things that played into factor when it comes to that. One, color. Charlie was white cow patch. A lot of brothers say color don't matter. Color do matter to some brothers. You know what I'm saying? Color do matter to some brothers. And in this particular litter, Charlie looked like he could have been a throwback dog. Because a lot of the dogs in the early part of that pedigree of Jeep them wasn't the color of Charlie. So he looks to be a throwback dog. Now, next thing that comes into play is ownership of the dog, Charlie. Irish Jerry, which name is involved in, some confusion from back in the days, So that could play a part as well as him being a popular person to breed to, as well as him living on another side of, another area from Jeep, And one of the main things that plays a part is the same thing that plays a part right now today. Brothers rather go to the connect than go to the side person that got the same stuff, And that's why I say as well, my brothers, that's why I say as well, this should show you that you can be off the same litter, but your level of dogs and your success as far as breeding will not be the same. Does not, necessarily be the same, because every dog can carry their own genetics from out that pedigree. They all look like these dogs, the mama and the daddy. Some of them may look like the grandparents, but you never know which dog they actually took the genetics from in that pedigree, because that's what makes a pedigree so good. Knowing that you have these different dogs in your pedigree, and there's always a chance that your dog could take from that dog, from that dog, from that dog, So you never know. So Charlie wasn't the producer that Jeep was when you look at the paper. Now, being that Jeep stayed with Mr. Crenshaw made him a more popular dog. I can probably assure you that. Made him a more popular dog to breed with. Being that Jeep was buckskin made him a more popular dog to breed with. Not to say that, Jeep probably went into more stronger opponents, than Charlie went into. And like I said, this is all assumption. This is all opinionated, No facts to this. All we know is Charlie is a 4-timer, Jeep's a 4-timer. Facts is Charlie is a cow patch dog, majority white with a couple spots, which most brothers would knew that their litters will come out majority white. A lot of brothers didn't want white litters. They don't mind having white dogs, but they didn't want white litters, and that's what Charlie gonna give you. So that's just my opinion today, man. Just giving you little facts about Champion Charlie. Not sure. Well, he don't have any losses on his record, so you can call him Champion Charlie. Jeep little mate brother. But I thank y'all for rocking with me. It's the Bay. We back rolling. We back giving them that dog talk and that dog news the way they want it. Fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, some ain't, man. Some gonna like it, some ain't. Don't forget to hit that like button before y'all get up out of here. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, drop down in them comments. Like I always tell you, salute to my brothers and sisters down in the chat. I try to do a video without a whole lot of profanity this time. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what got me struck last time. YouTube used to that with me. It was the dog clip in my video. It had to be. That dog clip in my video, in the Carolina Classic video, where the dogs was rolling in the video. That little undercover agent thing when the dogs was rolling in the video. It had to be that. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I got the other channel I'm about to put y'all on. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay tuned. You know, PBK9's giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Y'all stay safe out there. I'm out.